checking out AI Dungeon again. Was playing this earlier this week and giving it another try. Let's pick up where I left off. Chosen. Let's continue the story. Alright, so where I left off last time, I just started this story the other day. So my name is Apollo, and I am a kid, practically. There's some knights from the kingdom of Ormain who are attacking my village. Took my parents hostage. I have my sister with me, Sinathrith, and we have this rune sword. And so I decided to take action. I charged at this knight that was on a horse down the hill, see if I could do something about that. And sure enough, was able to make him surrender. Well, with a little bit of luck. Used them to bargain to see if they could release my parents, and they did. So I got my parents back. We're trying to figure out how we're going to survive in the middle of this war, and dear mom says we should go on a little bit of a quest here and find the old gods and see if their adherents can help us figure out a way to find safety. So we went marching across the land, took a couple kid orphans in tow, ran into a guy named Mordred, who is some kind of friend of the old gods. He's an archer, so I mean, that was a little scary, but it turns out he's a friend. Dodged some other knights who were roaming about the countryside. Then ran into Sir Galahad, who's another knight of Ormain, who initially I thought might be dangerous, but he's actually going to be a friend, because apparently there's a whole group of people in this kingdom who are upset about the current regent who's in charge of the kingdom. His name was Ethelred, I think. So surprisingly, Galahad, the knight, is also interested in bringing down Ethelred. So there must be a faction of knights who aren't keen about Ethelred and his current tenure as regent over the kingdom. So instead of being an enemy, Galahad is a friend. And Mordred and Galahad have indicated that we have a good chance of finding some more allies, mysterious allies, if we headed to the northern border of Brithholm and seek them out. So we started heading along that way, journeying northward to the mountain range, and we have stumbled upon an interesting valley in the mountains as we're heading up into the highlands. And where we left off is we see a large stone castle in the distance, a castle unlike any we've ever seen before. As we approach the castle, it becomes clear that this isn't a place of the living. Now that's pretty ominous, so I'm not worried. We'll figure this out. The structure is ancient. Its gray stones weathered by the elements, and vines and moss have grown over them. It stands silent and ominous, like a grave sentinel guarding some forgotten secret. I mean, how can we not go exploring this castle now? So let's see what Mordred thinks. I mean, Mordred and Galahad are along for this trip. Mordred's an archer. He seems pretty good with a bow, and Galahad's a knight, so I mean, I've got a pretty good party, even though I'm like a kid with a sword figuring it out, and I got a couple kids with me. So let's ask Mordred for his advice. Ask Mordred if he thinks it would be a good idea to investigate this castle. Let's see what Mordred has to say about it. Best we approach with caution, warns Mordred, his weathered face etched with concern. We do not know what secrets lay within. He turns to Galahad. Will your knights be prepared for what they may encounter? As prepared as we can be, Galahad answers, his voice stern but determined. This journey is not without risk. We face the unknown, both friend and foe, but we are knights sworn to justice and the protection of those in need. We shall venture forward together. His words echo with conviction, stirring something within you. As a group, you edge closer to the castle, its ominous silhouette looming ahead. The air is tense, charged with anticipation and dread. Well, Mordred thinks we should be careful. Galahad is not overly concerned, so let's check it out. I'd say why not, right? So could be something really interesting in there. So I think it's best to proceed cautiously, so let's do so. Cautiously approach the entrance to the castle and see if we can sneak inside to look about. Let's see what happens there. So we cautiously approach the ancient stone entrance to the castle. It appears to be heavily sealed, with no sign of an entrance or even a door. However, as you draw closer, you notice a faint glow emanating from a crevice in the walls. Intrigued, you edge towards it and peek inside. The entrance leads to a narrow passageway, the walls glowing softly with a mythical light. As you move further inside, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and reverence. This place seems to radiate with ancient power, making every hair on your neck stand at attention. Despite your caution, you decide to explore the castle further, eager to uncover its secrets. Your companions follow close behind, their footsteps echoing in the otherwise silent halls. The deeper you journey into the castle, the more elaborate its design becomes. Okay. A faint glow emanating from a crevice in the walls. Wow. So, clearly some magic going on here. Mystical light. Ancient power. So, I wonder what kind of power that could be. Let's just continue further. The deeper you journey into the castle, the more elaborate its design becomes. You come across intricately carved statues, each one depicting a different figure from Brithholm's history. So Brithholm is this kingdom, this other kingdom that we're exploring. There are heroes and kings, mages and warriors, all carved with such detail and reverence. As you continue exploration, you stumble upon a large chamber at the heart of the castle. The room is bathed in a soft golden light, emanating from a crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling. The walls are adorned with tapestries depicting scenes of great battles and epic quests, woven with such skill that they appear almost lifelike. In the center of the room stands a throne, its intricate carvings gleaming under chandelier's light. However, the throne remains empty, lending an air of melancholy to the already solemn atmosphere. So let's see what we can do looking at this. I'm going to make it depict it. Let's see it make an image. Ooh, that's not bad. Interesting. Let's take a closer look at this throne. As you approach the throne, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and respect. The intricate carvings on its surface are mesmerizing, depicting scenes of heroism and sacrifice. You run your fingers over the cold stone, feeling the weight of history that it carries. Suddenly you hear a soft whisper like the rustling of leaves in the wind. You turn around, but there's no one there. The whisper grows louder, becoming more distinct, as if it's the castle itself is speaking to you. "Who goes there?" You hear Galahad's voice echo through the chamber. "Good man, Galahad, let's see what's up." "It's just me," you reply, turning back to the throne. "What have you found?" he asks, his voice filled with curiosity. "Indeed, what have we found?" Let's just continue and let it carry on with this story. "What have you found?" he asks, his voice filled with curiosity. As you turn back towards Galahad, you notice something glinting in the crystal chandelier's light. You walk towards it and realize that the throne is not just a seat of power, but also a key to something greater. On its base, there is a hidden compartment that contains an ancient artifact, a crystal orb with swirling runes etched into its surface. "This could be what we're seeking. What we've been seeking," Mordred remarks, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "An artifact of immense power." "Or a cursed relic," Senethryth warns, her hand going to the hilt of her knife. "We know not its origin or purpose." "True, we must proceed with caution," Sir Galahad acknowledges, his voice echoing through the chamber. He's got a good point. This could be dangerous, but hey, YOLO, right? You only live once. So let's check it out. So let's move cautiously, but let's get a closer look. Move cautiously, but pick up and examine the crystal orb. Let's see what happens. As you gently lift the crystal orb from its hidden compartment, you can't help but feel a surge of energy coursing through your veins. The orb pulsates with an eerie light, its swirling runes glowing with a mystical aura. "What does it do?" you ask, your voice shaking with excitement. "We don't know for certain," Mordred responds, his brow furrowed in concentration, "but I've heard tales of ancient mages who use such artifacts to wield immense power, both for good and evil. It's said that they could shape the very fabric of reality itself." "Be careful with it," Senethryth warns, her voice tinged with worry. "The runes on its surface appear to be binding spells, designed to control its power." Okay. Binding spell. And you're going to bind this orb to me. Well, I'm obviously not a wizard, so I don't know how to use this crystal thing. Doesn't seem like we have any wizards in the group, so I should probably get some advice on what to do with this. Well, let's tuck it away. After placing the crystal orb in my pack, ask Mordred for advice on where to find somebody who can teach us more about this orb. Magical device. Magical artifact. Let's use our words. The old gods have been known to possess knowledge of the arcane and magical, Mordred responds, his eyes shining with wisdom. If we are to learn more about this artifact, we must seek out their allies. There's a chance they might know someone who can guide us in our quest. But how do we find them? Wolfstan asks, his voice filled with trepidation. We continue northwards, Mordred replies. I have a feeling that our path lies beyond the mountains. There we may find what we seek. You nod in agreement, feeling a sense of determination welling up within you. Together, you and your companions continue your journey northwards, towards the ancient castle and a mysterious artifact you've discovered. We're already at the castle, but okay. With each step, you grow stronger, more determined to uncover the secrets that lie ahead. Okay. Let's see. Leave the castle and continue northward. I really want to make sure I type out really what we're trying to do here. Let's see what the story does. As you leave the castle, you can't help but feel a mix of awe and trepidation. The artifact you discovered holds immense power, both the potential to be a great boon and a terrible curse. However, you are resolved to use it for the betterment of Brithholm and its people. Well, such a great guy. Your journey northwards is fraught with danger and hardship. The terrain becomes increasingly rugged, and towering peaks and treacherous passes. The weather is harsh, with bitter winds and icy storms that test your mettle. Yet through it all, you remain steadfast, driven by hope and finding allies who can help you unlock the secrets of the crystal orb. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into months. Wow, that's quite a time jump. You encounter various tribes and clans, some friendly and others hostile. There are skirmishes and battles, both won and lost. Okay. So some stuff happened. Okay. Well, let's continue. Trying to figure out where we go next. Despite the challenges, your bond as companions grows stronger. You learn to work together, trusting one another's strengths and covering for each other's weaknesses. You share stories and songs around campfires, finding solace in each other's companionship. As you near the northern border of Brithholm, you catch glimpses of a strange, ethereal light glimmering in the distance. It beckons to you like a siren's call, drawing you closer to its source. You press on, driven by the promise of answers and the hope of a brighter future for Brithholm. Finally, after months of grueling travel, you reach the source of the light. It's a vast, verdant valley filled with rolling hills and lush greenery. Alright, well this sounds like a nice place. Well, let's go in. Let's lead the group down into the valley. Lead my group of companions down into the verdant valley. Actually, let's get another little picture here. Let's see. Let's see what it puts together. Okay. No, that looks pretty cool. Some kind of big light in the valley. I'm sure that's not dangerous at all. Lead my companions down into the valley. And investigate the source of the... How did it put it? Ethereal light. see what we find. As you enter the valley, the ethereal light grows brighter, bathing everything in a soft golden glow. You can feel a sense of peace and tranquility washing over you, as if the very land itself is welcoming you with open arms. Oh, that's nice. You make your way through the lush greenery, following the light until you come upon a shimmering lake at the center of the valley. Reflected in its crystal clear waters is an ancient castle, its towers reaching towards the heavens. The castle is unlike anything you've ever seen before. Its walls and turrets, seemingly made of pure crystal, glowing with an otherworldly radiance. The old god's allies must be here, Mordred murmurs, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Let's approach the castle and see what awaits us. Okay. Let's do another picture. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's do C. Let's put that in there. It's gonna make something. Okay. I mean, that looks cool, but I don't know if that really reflects the castle of pure crystal. Alright. Still neat. Well, I think the first thing is to explore the outside of the castle to see if we can figure out the entrance. See where we're at, where we're going. Let's explore the outside of the ancient crystal castle to find the location of the entrance. As you approach the ancient crystal castle, its otherworldly beauty takes your breath away. The castle's gleaming walls and soaring spires seem to glimmer with an ethereal light, casting shadows that dance across the grass. You can feel the weight of history pressing down upon you. Wow. A sense of awe and reverence washing over you. You circle the castle, taking note of its towering gates and intricate carvings that adorn every surface. The runic writings on the walls hint at powerful magic and mysterious secrets within its walls. As you trace your fingers along the ornate designs, you sense a faint vibration emanating from the stones, as if the castle itself is alive. Finally, you spot a small door nestled between two soaring spires. Well, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's lead my companions through the small door into the castle. As you push open the small door, it swings inwards with a creak, revealing a dimly lit hallway. The air is cool and musty, with a faint scent of age and decay lingering in the air. You can hear the faintest whisper of voices echoing through the corridors, as if the castle itself is alive and aware of your presence. Moving cautiously, you follow the twisting corridors, your footsteps echoing off the cold stone walls. The castle seems to grow more labyrinthine with each turn, its corridors winding deeper and deeper into the heart of the ancient structure. As you round a corner, you come upon a grand staircase, its steps carved from pure white marble. At the top of the stairs stands a throne, its ornate design gleaming in the faint light. Well, that's pretty impressive sounding. I really wonder if there's anybody actually in this castle, or are we just hearing voices? Well, I think it's time to climb those stairs. My companions. And climb up the staircase. Towards the throne. And let's see what we have to do with this throne. Last throne, we got a neat crystal orb, whatever that does. As you approach the throne room, your heart beats faster with anticipation. This must be the chamber that contains the secrets you seek. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. The place where you will learn how to wield the mysterious rune sword and its powerful magic. The throne room is awe-inspiring, with high ceilings and towering windows that let in beams of golden light. The throne itself is an ornate masterpiece, intricately carved from crystal and adorned with precious gems that shimmer and sparkle in the sunlight. You and your companions cautiously step up to the throne, its cold surface sending shivers down your spine. As you touch the armrest, a rush of energy courses through you as if the very power of the crystal castle is flowing into your veins. You gasp as you feel a deep, resonant voice fill your mind. Okay. Let's do continue. And what does this voice say? Welcome, children of Brithholm. You have crossed the threshold into our realm, seeking the knowledge and power that lay dormant within our ancient castle. We, the old gods, have watched over you for many ages, and now we bestow upon you a gift, a chance to shape your destiny and that of your kingdom. But be warned, power comes with a heavy price, and the decisions you make now will echo through the ages. Wow, so I think gods are speaking to us directly now. That's not scary. You look around trying to understand the source of the voice, but see nothing out of the ordinary. Sir Galahad steps forward, bowing his head in respect. Great old gods, he says, his voice trembling with awe. We come to you seeking aid in these dark times. Our land is torn asunder by war and strife, and we humbly ask for your guidance and blessing. All right. Let's continue and see what we get. The voice grows louder, resonating through the chamber. War and strife, always the cycle of darkness and light. We have seen kingdoms rise and fall, heroes forsaken and legends fade, but there is a hope in these dark times. We bestow upon you this crystal orb, a fragment of our power. Okay, so that's that crystal orb I got. It is yours to wield, but beware its potential. The fate of your kingdom lies in your hands, bright knight. You feel a surge of energy course through you as you step forward, drawn to the glowing crystal orb on the throne's pedestal. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I feel like we already got an orb. I wonder if that was a little mix-up with the story AI. That's interesting. Because now we're getting an orb here. Well, without hesitation, you reach out and grasp the orbs, feeling a sudden rush of power fill you. The rune sword pulses in your hand, its energy aligning with the orb's power. Mordred steps beside you, his eyes glistening with excitement. Well, let's see what happens. Well done, Apollo, he says with a nod of approval. The orb has chosen you as its wielder. Now let us return to our companions and plan our next steps. Okay. As you exit the throne room, the crystal castle begins to pulse with energy, the rune sword glowing brighter than ever before. You can feel its power coursing through your veins, filling you with a sense of purpose and destiny. You, Sir Galahad, and Mordred gather in the hallway, discussing the old god's message and the potential of the crystal orb. Sinethrith joins you, her eyes wide with wonder. power of the orb, she says in a hushed tone. It feels like a living thing, like a part of me. I've never felt anything like it before. So, Senethris got the orb now, and I've got the rune sword, and it seems like we're getting a lot of power. So now we got some tools. Now what do we do next? I'm feeling like maybe this means we should return back where we came from and see if we can find the power in the kingdom. I think ultimately Galahad wants to do something about this regent, Ethelred. So let's ask for advice. Let's ask Galahad what he thinks our next best course of action should be. What do you think, Galahad? Sir Galahad considers your question for a moment, his brow furrowed in thought. Our next course of action must be to return to our forces and use this newfound power to turn the tide of the war. We must strike at the heart of Ormain's army and weaken their hold on our land. With the crystal orb's power, we can bolster our defenses and launch counterattacks against our strongholds. But first, Mordred interjects. We must train and prepare. The power of the orb is great, but is not without its risks. We must learn to control and harness its power before we can wield it effectively in battle. Agreed, Senethris adds. We also need to gather more information about Ormain's forces and their weaknesses. Okay. So we should train and prepare, and we should get some information, and then ultimately we should be ready to go back and attack the army of Ormain. Yeah, that seems prudent. Well, where should we train at? We must learn to control and harness its power. Well, I think the next thing we should do is probably figure out where we can learn how to harness and control its power. So let's ask Mordred where he thinks we should go to learn to control and harness the power of the orb. What does Mordred think? Because I just don't know. Come on, Mordred. Here we go. Mordred considers your question for a moment, his eyes narrowing in thought. There is a place deep in the mountains to the north where the old god's power is strongest. It is said that those who can harness its energy can wield great power. It is a perilous journey, but if we are to control the crystal orb's power, we must go there. And what of Ormain's forces, I ask? Will they not pursue us? Mordred shrugs. They may, but we must take the risk. The fate of Brithholm lies in our hands, and we cannot afford to hesitate. Alright. That seems like that's a good idea. Further to the north, deeper into the mountains. But are we going to a place? Are we seeking out some people? So let's ask him further. Ask Mordred if we are seeking some people in the north to train us how to use the orb. I mean, we're going to a place, or we're trying to find some village or town. Alright. So the journey to the north will not be easy, Mordred replies, but we will encounter allies and guides who can teach us how to harness the orb's power. It is a perilous path, but we must take it if we are to control the destiny of our kingdom. Okay. Well, I think we must push on then. Begin the journey further north through the mountains to find allies and guides who can teach us how to harness the orb's power. Allies and guides. I mean, it sounds like maybe there's some mysterious people we might run into. As you and your companions set out on your perilous journey through the mountains, you feel the crystal orb pulsing in your hand, its energy guiding you forward. The path is treacherous with steep inclines, deep ravines, and unpredictable weather. After several days of travel, you come upon a small village nestled in a valley. The villagers are friendly and welcoming, offering you food and shelter for the night. You share your story with them, revealing the crystal orb's power and your quest to master it. I don't know if that would have been the best choice. I mean, going to some random village, don't know anything about these people, like, hey, by the way, we got this really cool magical artifact. I don't know, maybe that's the right point. The village elders are intrigued but cautious. They tell you of a legendary warrior who lived in the mountains, a guardian of ancient knowledge and power. They offer to guide you to his hidden stronghold, hoping you can seek his counsel and learn to harness the orb's power. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully it's not a trap. So we're going to accept the elder's offer to guide us to the hidden stronghold. Oh. So we can learn from the legendary warrior. Here we go, back into the mountains. As you journey deeper into the mountains, the terrain becomes even more treacherous. Okay, it's just really treacherous path. That's what I've come to conclude. Let's see what it puts together. Let's get a nice little picture. Oh, I mean, it certainly looks nice. Some happy little trees. Alright. As you journey deeper into the mountains, the terrain becomes even more treacherous. The path winds through dense woods, across raging rivers, and up steep cliffs. The air grows colder, and snow begins to fall, blanketing the landscape in a sparkling white. Despite the harsh conditions, you and your companions press on, driven by the promise of knowledge and power. The elders lead you through some narrow valleys and over high peaks, their knowledge of the terrain proving invaluable. After several days of arduous travel, you reach a secluded valley hidden from view by towering mountains. The air here is crisp and clean, and the snow glistens in the sunlight. In the center of the valley stands a massive crystal castle, reflecting the sun's rays in a dazzling display of light and color. Another crystal castle. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I mean, we just left a crystal castle. Let's see. As you approach the crystal castle, a sense of awe washes over you. It towers above you, its gleaming facets reflecting the snow-covered landscape. You feel a strange energy emanating from the castle, like an ancient power stirring within. The elders lead you through a narrow entrance in the base of the castle into a vast underground chamber. The air here is thick with mystery, and you can feel the power of the orb pulsing around you. A lone figure emerges from the shadows, clad in armor fashioned from pure crystal. Crystal armor. That's intriguing. His eyes are kind but stern, his demeanor that of a wise and ancient sage. He introduces himself as the legendary warrior, the last of his kind, guardians of the old god's power. You share your story with him, explaining your quest to master the crystal's orb and protect your kingdom. Let's see what we got. I actually want to see if it puts together an image of this. What's it going to put together? Okay. This is kind of like Elsa's castle from Frozen. Alright, let's continue. What can this legendary warrior do to help? The legendary warrior listens intently to your story, his eyes filled with understanding. The fate of your kingdom rests in your hands, young one, he says solemnly. But first you must learn to control the crystal orb's power. It is not a tool to be used lightly, for its energy can consume those who wield it recklessly. Okay, so yes, very dangerous. He gestures to a massive crystal throne at the center of the chamber, its carvings and runes glowing with ethereal light. Sit upon that throne and allow the crystal orb's power to flow through you. The old god's energy will guide you, shaping your destiny. You hesitate, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down upon you, but the warrior assures you, do not fear, for I will be with you every step of the way. Alright, let's go for it. Alright, let's go sit on the throne. Crystal throne. Let's see what happens. There we go. As you approach the crystal throne, you feel a strange energy coursing through your veins. The power of the orb pulses within you, awakening ancient memories and stirring dormant abilities. Dormant abilities? I got powers all along, I didn't know it. You hesitate for a moment, taking a deep breath to steady yourself. Slowly you lower yourself into the throne, feeling the crystal's cold surface against your skin. The carvings and runes glow brighter, bathing you in an ethereal light. You close your eyes, focusing on the orb's energy flowing through you. You feel the power coursing through your veins, like a living thing seeking to be unleashed. You struggle to control it, to harness its energy for your own purposes. The warrior guides you, his voice a soothing whisper in your mind. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into months. What is everybody else doing this time? All this time, weeks into months. Okay. Hope everybody else in my group isn't bored. What we really need is a montage. You spend countless hours on a crystal throne learning to control the orb's power. You grow stronger, more resilient, your mind sharper. You learn to harness the power of the orb to use it to heal and protect those around you. The warrior teaches you ancient techniques, guiding you through meditations and rituals that strengthen your connection to the crystal throne and the orb's energy. He shares stories of the old gods and their wisdom, imparting his knowledge to you. As you grow in power, you begin to explore the vast underground chambers of the castle, discovering hidden passages and ancient artifacts. You find tapestries depicting long-forgotten battles and carvings of creatures both wondrous and terrifying. Okay. Well, this is pretty cool. I mean, everybody in my group is apparently really patient. We've just been hanging out here while I'm practicing crystal orb powers for weeks. But that's nice. So now we're learning how to use the orb and strengthen our connection through this crystal throne. Let's see what other kind of artifacts there are. Let's see what other kinds of artifacts we find in the underground chambers of the castle. I mean, maybe I can find some stuff for everybody else. As you delve deeper into the hidden chambers of the Crystal Castle, you discover a plethora of ancient artifacts. There are weapons forged from pure crystal, their edges gleaming with an ethereal light. There are intricately carved amulets and talismans, each adorned with runic symbols and charged with potent magic. You find tomes filled with arcane knowledge, their pages yellowed with age and preserved by the crystal air. In one chamber, you stumble upon a sealed doorway, its runes glowing faintly in the crystal light. The legendary warrior warns you against opening, explaining that it is a portal to another realm, one filled with danger and darkness, but you're drawn to it, fascinated by its ancient power. Okay, so that's clearly the worst way to keep somebody from doing something they shouldn't do. It's filled with danger and darkness. Portal to another realm. So clearly we're going to go try and open that door. Because why would we not? So here we go. Let's open the sealed doorway and explore what is beyond. Let's go. What is... I mean, why not? As you reach out to touch the glowing runes, they begin to pulse with an intense energy. The doorway shimmers and shifts, morphing into a swirling vortex of colors and shapes. And this sounds like a portal. With a deep breath, you step through the portal, into a realm unlike any you've ever seen. The air is thick with a sense of foreboding, and the landscape is bleak and desolate. Oh no. I mean, it sounds like we've gone into some kind of demonic realm or something like that. Or, like in Dungeons and Dragons, like this would be some kind of planar realm or something like that. Astral plane, something like that. Towering mountains rise in the distance, their peaks shrouded in a perpetual fog. Dark, twisted trees spread their gnarled branches across the barren earth, casting long shadows over the lifeless terrain. You feel a presence nearby, a sinister energy that makes your skin crawl. Turning slowly, you see a group of figures emerging from the shadows. They're cloaked in black robes, their faces hidden beneath hoods. Okay. Black robes is never a good sign. You know, if they're blue robes or green robes, like, okay, maybe these guys are cool, but black robes, no. 50-50 chance these guys are like dark mages or necromancers or some kind of demon cult and they're gonna sacrifice me. But hey, we're here now. Let's just say hello, right? Like call out to the black-robed figures and ask who they are and where we are at. And what is this place? Who knows? Maybe they'll be helpful. 5% chance of that. I'm guessing necromancers. The figures stop in their tracks as you speak, their dark robes rustling softly in the still air. One of them steps forward, revealing a gaunt, Skeletal face beneath the hood. Okay, not a good sign. It speaks in a raspy, unearthly voice. This is the domain of the old ones, creatures of ancient power and wisdom. We have awaited your arrival, child of prophecy. Okay, okay. Maybe this is a good thing. You feel a strange mix of fear and reverence towards these beings. I mean, maybe they're not human. Their aura of mystery and power enveloping you. You hesitantly ask about their connection to the crystal castle and the crystal orb you've been studying. They chuckle, a dark, sinister sound. Ah, yes, the orb of light. It holds great power indeed, but it is merely a fragment of our true might. Okay. Ask the beings what is the nature of their true might. Tell me more. I mean, I spent weeks and months learning how to use this crystal, and they're saying, oh yeah, that's cool, but that's nothing. The beings from the realm of the Old Ones reveal that their power comes from the primal forces of the universe, the same energies that shaped the cosmos at the dawn of time. They wield a dark magic, fueled by the same ancient power but tainted by their fell purpose. They explain that they are drawn to those with strong connections to the ancient energies like Apollo, me, and the crystal orb. As the conversation continues, the black-robed figures began to circle him, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. This doesn't sound good. They warn Apollo of the dangers inherent in wielding the crystal orb and the power it represents, cautioning him to use it sparingly and with great care. They offer their guidance and knowledge in exchange for his loyalty and obedience. I don't know if these are good guys to ally with. They don't seem like they're very good. I mean, they kind of sound like they're Sith from like Star Wars. Like, oh, okay, we're using the Force, but because we do bad stuff and we're trying to do bad things, the power is tainted. Well, I think I'm gonna reject these guys' offer. As kindly as I was, I'm sure it wasn't offered in good spirit. Okay. Reject the offer of the black robe figures. Of course, that might piss them off. And we may get a fight. We'll see. Where do we go from here? I mean, I went through this portal. I was told probably not a good idea, and here we are. Probably was a bad idea. But, you know, sometimes fun things happen from making bad decisions. You shake your head firmly, rejecting their offer. I cannot align myself with those who seek to wield such dark magic. My path lies with the crystal orb and its ancient power, using it to protect the innocent and bring justice to the kingdom. The beings from the realm of the Old Ones sneer, their skeletal faces contorting into twisted masks of anger and disappointment. So be it, child of light. You shall face the trials ahead alone, unaware of the true nature of the power you wield. With a final ominous chuckle, they disappear into the shadows, leaving you alone in the desolate realm. You feel a strange mix of determination and fear as you turn back towards the portal, ready to face whatever awaits you on the other side. Okay, well, I mean, that kind of feels a little anticlimactic, but, you know, maybe there's different paths for everybody here. You can work with the legendary warrior guardian, he can train me, or work with these guys who just seem terrible. Alright, well, let's go back through the portal. Let's go back through the portal from where we came. See what happens. Let's get back to the group. Like, where's our friend? Where did Apollo go? I mean, it doesn't seem like they came through with me. As you step back through the portal, the swirling colors and shapes fade away, leaving you standing in a crystal chamber once again. You take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the black-robed figure's words and warnings lingering in your mind. You make your way back to the surface, emerging from the castle and taking in the verdant landscape around you. The air is crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the dark, foreboding atmosphere of the realm of the old ones. As you gather your thoughts and reflect on your experiences, you realize that the path ahead is fraught with danger and uncertainty. But you also know that you have the power of the crystal orb at your fingertips, and with it, the potential to make a difference in the war-torn kingdom. You decide to return to your companions, sharing your knowledge and experiences with them. All right. Well, we did a little bit here. Finally, journeyed further north into the mountains. Got some guides. Picked up a new artifact, a crystal orb. I've apparently been training with it for a while. Had a key decision point. Figure out if we're gonna work with some bad guys, potentially to learn more. I think that would have been a mistake. But I'm kind of taking a kind of a more, if we talk about alignment, kind of more on a lawful side, lawful good kind of thing. If not maybe neutral good. They seem like more of an evil tinge to them, so I didn't want to just go doing something that would seem just plainly out of character for this guy. So we turned them down, and now we're back, and looks like we're ready. Everybody's back together and ready to go on our journey. So I think that's where I'm going to leave off for this time, and we'll pick up this weekend further on our